Okay, I don't have oracle cards yet. Well, I have what I have left over from a move. But I don't know. Maybe this will be a sign to somebody. Well, you have the Pillar of Light, the descent of the Star of Isis. If you're feeling like energies are being rumbled up, a lot of the times that means always follow whatever resonates with you, because it's not like I'm super special. It's more so each and every single one is, and it's just, I hope you get what I mean. Anyways, the rumbling of energies is usually, it's like the divine paradox. Growth can't happen without rumbling of energies. It can't happen without things coming up to the surface for change. And if we keep resisting that, I think for a while the world was at like kind of what of a standstill. People kind of like lost their way of what that actually means. Like there wasn't much alchemy happening, and I feel like that's starting to happen now. Like things are starting to get back in the groove. Like there was like a jam in that, like in the way that the world works, the way that energy is alchemized, the natural way of things. And so that's starting to fix, and some people aren't liking it because a lot of people like to be stand still. They don't like to move, they don't like to grow, they don't like to analyze their stuff, they'd rather just stay at a standstill. And some are blocked also. They may be blocked in their pineal glands, they may be blocked in their connections. You can even say a short prayer that people become unblocked so they can see that they do have, so they can see that they do have guidance towards what growth is being brought up, and just because it's been blocked for a while, maybe they can start opening back up to that and start spending some time to themselves to see the resources at their hand, like just see what these roadblocks are meant to bring, the truth behind some of these things. Some of these things, these roadblocks that can be coming up, these things that are like, some people just want to just stay in this mode, but that's not the way the world works. So, but some people may feel blocked, but you can pray that, I don't know, that's one thing I got, is you can pray that perhaps that lifts for some. I have 3 cards here. 3 cards. So who knows how, I don't know. But maybe this is just all meant to be. But these are actually really cool. Ingrid Orr. I wish I didn't end up getting so disorganized. But let's see what happens. Goddess of Happiness. These are really cool symbols. Realize by means of the energized goddess symbol card with which themes you resonate and which feel unpleasant to you. So I love this, that she's kind of going into both sides of things. Like, I feel like that's good to stay balanced in, like well-being, generosity, but also resignation, despair, despondency, disappointment, worries, unease. You can't have happiness without approaching and looking at the worries and unease. Like, that's the beautiful divine paradox of change, of alchemy, of anything really. And we get this messaging from since we're kids, like, oh, just be happy. And especially this, and this could even be approached to people who associate with the male gender as well. It just depends on how but that is often the gender. What we get is like, if we're meant to be just happy and just act like everything's fine and take care of everybody and everything's and never look at what some of the bad things are actually telling us. So we're just constantly stuck in, oh, look what's bad happening in my life, and look at this, like. And sometimes people just say the same stories. It's the same story over and over without ever looking deeper into what it's telling us, because we're like, oh, but we just want to be happy. And so the universe is like, yes, I'm showing you what's blocking you from not being happy. But we're just stuck. We're stuck. And we have to really get those wheels grinding, whether it's meditation or whatever is coming to you. Spend some time meditating in the sun. Remember, like, that sun, this Sirius sun makes me think of that. Like, this makes me think of sun to earth. Like, just be open. You maybe you need some Maybe there's grief and there's pain backed up. Maybe you need assistance with that. Maybe you need to release some tears. Maybe you need to release some past. There's a new kind of paradigm coming in. As some people may have hinted here and there, like it's kind of just more truth, more authenticity, more. And it's hard. It's not easy because some of it we would like to stay in that comfort of no, everything's fine, but in reality, it's actually harder to stay in that. But it's just easier because it's more hidden from others. Because why is there so much pain with us showing others what's really happening? And yes, we do need to be selective who we show to others, because sometimes others can really hurt us, especially if they're very not healed themselves. They can. And they're not ready to support that level. So we just have to be careful with how it's a weird time. And so that's why you're so special as human beings, even being alive during this time of such change and transformation. I mean, really link in, and you want to be hooked into your gifts right now. I mean, to who you are. So don't let anybody try to tell you differently. I mean, follow your guidance, follow your intuition. Okay, and I'm just going to open up a random card. I think I'm going to end it on this because, yeah, I don't want anything to delete. I hope this is helpful. Just follow whatever comes to you. Bloodstone was the first one that popped up in my mind. I don't know if that's just for me or if that's for other people, but I think that's a lot of detoxing. I think there's a lot of DNA upgrades because, like, as I was saying, things are how it felt like things were jammed for a while. Like, they say the world works in like kind of like a spiral of energy, like and sometimes it seems like you're lower, but you're actually alchemizing things higher, or you're alchemizing things lower, and things go this way and this way. And what is it that tells us that things need to be up, 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 up for things to be good and high? And it's like, but no, the things need to be. So our thinking as humans, we tend to think in hierarchical ways of like king and queen, then the peasants, and it's just like, but that's not how things work divinely, or the universe works. It works more all together as one. Anyways, sorry, I digress. The jamming of things. So it makes sense that as we're returning, there may have been a jam, there may have been toxins building up because we weren't kind of learning from our lessons. We were kind of stuck, we were kind of stagnant, and now we're starting to welcome the sadness or the anger or the grief. We're starting to welcome what the bad has to show us. Like this was saying in this happiness Lemurian thing, is we can't have happiness, we can't have well-being, generosity without looking at the despair, the worries, the unease. You have to look at the worries, the unease, the despair in order to have the well-being, the generosity, the relief, the happy-go-lucky, the enthusiasm. That's what, without, you have to alchemize that to get to that, and then you'll have that and that and that, and it's just infinite spiral, beautiful life. And it seems scary because we've been, as children, we kind of like, oh, it's better if we just act happy and just present ourselves the way people want us to. But ultimately, the true well-being, the true like calm doesn't come through that. It comes through accepting and witnessing all of it. So I can't find the bloodstone thing that I just passed by. Maybe I'll just do another one. But if that resonates with anybody. Amethyst, inner peace. This could be a good starter pack for anybody too, especially when you're trying to reconnect with yourself. I got an amethyst tower. It was really helpful. It was really powerful. Anyways, amethyst, inner peace. A powerful protector, purifier, and natural tranquilizer. Amethyst calms the mind and balances extremes. It's good. Self-understanding. You have an addictive personality. Make a concerted effort to overcome such behavior or obsessions of any kind, and avoid overindulgence. Balance work and play. You are prone to excess in both. Understanding hidden causes of compulsive actions brings peace. I guess I feel like that's just like understanding any of our behaviors or the behaviors of others, and really listening to yourself and allowing for that introspection time. And if you need support, finding support for that. Otherwise, holding space, like for me, having a therapist that understands me, I think really helps me. Anyways, balance work and play. You are prone to excess in both. Understanding hidden causes of compulsive actions brings peace. And the one key thing that I found out lately is really finding a therapist that you resonate with, that works for you, if that does resonate with you, because I spent like 2 years, I feel like, with the wrong therapist. And it also was a reflection of how much I wasn't ready to look at the parts that I'm now looking at. Health-wise, physically, like physically wise. I had to do a lot of deep meditations and a lot of deep work to get to the place where I am. Today it was like a little push. Okay, enough about me. Anyways, understanding hidden causes of compulsive actions brings peace. Hand your will over to your soul and allow your spirituality to flourish. Divination. Release self-defeating programs. Do not rely on others. Why is that so scary? I don't know. Maybe because we have a lot of attachments to our childhood where we couldn't not rely on others. You create anything you set your mind to, and that is often we need to release a lot of attachments. Listen to ourselves. There comes a lot of grief. A lot of grief comes up when we start to listen to ourselves. Also, a lot of stuff comes up when we start to listen to ourselves. Some people might not like us listening to ourselves either. But let's try to make that in its most, make it as helpful as possible by really looking into things and don't, because the old paradigm might be, oh, you have to yell at the person, you have to blow up, you have to do this. Let's, instead of that, try the introspective route. Try the journaling route. Or getting your anger out in a different way, or writing a letter you don't send. Processing your grief to keeping your power within you rather than putting it without you by giving that power. I feel like sometimes when we just we want people to just we think that's the key, is them understanding you when they're never going to really understand. Only you can understand yourself, and that's the gift that they're giving you is that's why the people are understanding you, because you're meant to understand yourself. That's what the universe is telling you. So when you just keep trying to force other people to understand you, you're putting all of your power, all of your energy towards that, when all of the power and all of your energy needs to go towards you understanding yourself. That's what the universe is usually telling you. Okay, divination. Release self-defeating programs. Do not rely on others. You create anything you set your mind to. Be shrewd in business dealings. Pay attention to your family. An honest verdict and success in a court case are possible. Maintain your integrity and let the universe decide. Maintain your integrity. Going back to maintain your integrity. Like, don't lose your cool. Stay in alignment with you. Stay in alignment with your values. Stay in alignment with you, what you know to be true. And it's hard because it's like creating new neural pathways, right? Not going back to the old stagnant Healing insight. Letting go of cravings leads to inner freedom and creates well-being. Another thing, I guess that could go to any type of indulgences, but also the indulgence of wanting to stay in the same path, wanting to stay in that same seemingly comfortable, but not, the stagnancy. Frequency high to exceptionally high. Chakra, third eye crown. Again, that's your connection. That reminds me again of this pillar of light, descent, the star of Isis. The sun energy is coming all the way down to earth. That's the meditation that goes along with this card, by the way. It's like the sun of the star of Isis, like coming down and then going down to earth, and then the earth has the inner sun too, and then that coming up, and then back and forth connection. Timing, Aquarius, Pisces, soul path, developing unshakable inner peace. And that starts with you, right? It starts with building that inner strength within. And that's cultivating that inner strength, that do not rely on others kind of thing, like, and not in like the fullness of do not rely on anybody, but like, you know what they mean. Developing unshakable inner peace. Trust yourself. You can do this. Yeah, all that was already said. If you want to see this again and really take that in, it might be helpful to kind of activate that third eye crowd and that connection to your guides, yourself. And if you just feel like crying or sadness, just let it flow. Let it flow, right? Trust yourself. This is the time to be trusting yourself. Truly. There's gifts that no one else has that you have, that you can only access when you trust yourself, when you listen to you. And you don't need anybody else to validate that. Okay. Much love.